Welcome back. Okay, at the moment we keep hearing conflicting stories about media mergers. One day it's Fairfax and 9 and then it's Fairfax and 10. So what's going on? And why are media companies so vulnerable at the moment? And will they ever become convincing investments again? One man who should know is Harold Mitchell, who is chairman of Free TV Australia and he's a companion of the Order of Australia. Harold Mitchell, how are you, mate?
Very good. Tell me this before we start.
Yeah, I thought I was asking the questions here, but go on.
Yeah, do you like the tie?
Love the tie.
Yeah, you gave it to me.
Yeah, very impressed.
Is there something about sort of paying off the guest or whatever?
Oh, that's right. I thought I could make you come back, but there was no reflection on the quality of the ties that you...
Not cheap either of us.
No,
thank you.
We look after people like you, Harold.
The question.
Well, the question is, the least important question is, what is a companion of the Order of Australia? What do you do?
It's a friend. It's a friend. A companion. Well, there's about 350 of us, so it's a bit rare, and mostly it's this one. Do they do the?
I don't think. Can they focus? Take your hand out of the way. We can there is there. Okay.
Okay. The folk at home, they got that one.
Yeah, you got it home. Yeah.
Well,
it's a gold one.
It's more than that, it's something. But when I'm overseas, people say, what is that? I say it's a Rotary badge because it's all too hard. But there's an order of gongs as they are, and this one's called the Companion. The one down underneath, that's called an Order, an AO. And then
so the Companion is the highest?
This is it.
Yeah.
This is it.
I thought you deserved the highest.
Well, no. Well, I was at advertising, so I just crept in there other things. So it's that.
You've done a little bit more than that.
It's a good thing because I'd have to say, I'm glad we don't have the knighthoods. We've got a couple that have crept in, but
was that a Gough thing, Companion of Australia?
What was it? It was. Oh, he dropped the knighthood.
Yeah,
and that was a good thing because we're not that sort of people. So I wear it because
Sir Harold Mitchell.
I'll be awful.
Of the Garter.
But out there are orders police, I can tell you. If you don't wear it and you're on telly like this show...
you're in trouble.
People know about it.
OK, more important things now.
Yeah. That's pretty
OK,
cool.
let's talk... It's a good conversation, but we are here to actually get investments. All right, so... A lot of people are invested in 9 and 10 and Fairfax and whatever news. 7 as well. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
What's going on there, Harold? Do you think you'll see a merger between a free-to-air TV and, say, for example, Fairfax?
Pretty unlikely. Oh, pretty unlikely. What's driving it is the media is a very big part of everybody's life. Yep. The media is fascinated with the media, so we talk about it a lot more, which is not such a bad thing. The reason is that if a day is divided up into 3 lots of 8 hours, sleep for 8, work for 8, we spend 8 hours a day with the media. It's a massive thing, and that's been going on for a long time. This time right now is in the biggest change that's happened probably forever. The digital world has arrived, and advertising drives all of the media, and it has been a very major part of our life for a long period of time. And the television stations, the newspapers, that's been the way it is. We have the highest per capita advertising spend in the world. That's like right up there because it's such a competitive country. It's a good country, so advertising is important. But advertising has been tailing off because the biggest change that's happened since the printing press has arrived, which is the digital world. What you've got out here with all of this, it wouldn't be like this if we didn't have the digital technology which started back in the 70s in some way, but really in the 90s took off, and Google arrived. Google arrived. So the biggest thing that's happening is it's levelled off, and the great years have gone, and the change has been dramatic. In newspapers, which was around 2000, had over 40% share of the advertising dollars. By 2015, it could well down be 20%.
Halved.
It is massive, massive. It's just unbelievable.
Why didn't the news publications get the digital world? What stopped them from seeing what they needed to see? They're playing catch-up now, aren't they?
Well, I think it happened with every bit of technology. You know, when the automobile came along, you know, people had to walk in front of it with a flag because this is a dangerous little thing.
You remember that, do you?
I was there. No, but you know, people, they take a while to work out change, and that's the biggest thing of all. I'm a bit lucky that I've worked out a couple of things like that, a few other things that I haven't. So back to the question, what's going on? Firstly, the whole of the landscape has changed dramatically because digital has come along. So I mentioned newspapers. It is a tough old time for them, but it's not the end of the world because content information, things we're talking about here, people want to know it, but it's the delivery systems that have changed completely.
Yeah. So content is critically important to valuable modern businesses, aren't they?
Yeah. Well, you know, in your the minutes when you don't sleep, because you work 20 hours a day, the other bits are all about content that you know in your business that you've got elsewhere. Do they know that you've got another job, do they?
Occasionally I talk about it.
So that's the first thing that's happening. Yeah. Newspapers, just like that. Magazines, which were around 2000, had around 9 to 10% of advertising. By 2020, that got down to be 2 to 3%. And what's
does that include the advertising they get on their digital properties, or are you just saying in the hard copy?
In a hard copy of it. Yeah. So let's go on from there, because I'm the chairman of Free TV, which is the dead opposite of what you're doing here. Yeah. I'd have to say, but we work in together well, as you know.
You don't mind coming on here and talking about free to air TV, do you?
I don't know how the boss like, but we all get on, and it's good, and you have a place, just as Free TV. Free TV has managed it because the share, in fact, this last year, it's done okay.
Well, why is the share price struggling, say, for lots of those great brand names? 9, 7, 10 hasn't got the same strong brand name, but it's been around for a long time.
Well, there's one word: Google. Yeah. So suddenly the digital world arrived since 2000, which there was no share at all of advertising to the digital world. You know, there's great big things that are there like that. And by 2015, it'll be 38%. 40%, now that is incredible. They have taken 40% of this big advertising pie. Now, television's hung on. You've arrived. You're doing okay. Make a pile of money here, by the way. But it's been harder because the magic time is gone. Now, Free TV they've worked it out. They've got all sorts of delivery systems out there now. You get it on an iPad. You get it on your telephone. They've done okay. But Google has taken 40%. Google now has
Why do you say Google? Is that because people go to Google and that just distracts them from television?
No. It's no. People are still watching television. Yeah. They're still reading newspapers. Those that are there, not as many.
So how does Google take so much from free-to-air TV and print publications?
I tell you, it's very simple. It's a thing called search. Firstly, let me give you the numbers. They've got a turnover of $2 billion. Now, they deny it. They're probably already rushing with the lawyers tonight to work out how dare I tell you that.
You got plenty of money. Don't worry about that.
It's okay. And so that's the point. Yeah. Because they have got a big staff here. They do a good job, incredible service of all the things that they do. But they probably make a profit of $1.5 billion. $1.5 billion. They pay tax, we think, of about $4 million. $4 million. Now,
they're working in Paris to get even with at the moment.
That's right. That's right. They thought they did a bit of a deal, didn't they, about all of that? Now, I was Google's very, very big customer. Good people, get on with the phone. But we used to get the bills from Ireland. And we used to send the money to Ireland, and everybody does all of that. Now, I've talked to a couple of people in the cabinet. Joe Hockey is quite right, wanting to balance the budget.
Yeah, of course. I think all treasurers around the world want to get even with them.
And I said, Google ought to pay at least another $500 million tax. 500 million, and there's Apple and the others that all go with it. And so that's what the G20 is about. That's what we're wanting to do with it, and that's right. But back to the media. They've just wiped out a massive amount of the top line. Now, the digital business is getting nearly 40% share, and of that, most of it is Google. Most of it is Google, and I've got 3 words: Google always wins, and that's good on them.
So you're saying, like, I've got a business, I want to be noticed, rather than putting an ad on 60 Minutes or on this show, for example, they'll take a search contract with Google, and every time someone types in financial planning, up comes Switzer.
Exactly.
And they're paying for that rather than paying for TV.
And how clever are they? Because we all want it. I'll Google that as part of the conversation, and good for them in doing it. We all just say as Australians, it's not fair. Okay. Now, if we wanted to fix some of the budget, I got to tell you, things like that would fix it very quickly. The G20, they plan to. I don't think the Americans like that or want that to happen.
No, they're fine.
But that's changed the media world that we're involved in. So the media companies, like the television companies, they're okay. They're still okay.
So the thing is this, Harold, do you think, they're having tough times now, do you think in 2 years' time companies like 10 will be in a much better situation than in now, or could they be taken over by somebody else?
No.
They won't be taken over?
No, they have responded because right now they're spending, I couldn't believe, I saw some figures today, that they're spending this massive amount on production of Australian programs. 1.3 or 4 billion, something like that.
Another one for around out of time.
Yes.
I thought Seven was quite clever. Seven's got multiple channels now, and they're thinking about taking like basically a betting license, so they'll show racing on Saturday,
exactly.
and they'll also actually have like a bookie's license. Now, is that what these companies have to? They have to diversify into these different income streams to make. They've got a great brand, and there's leverage off that brand.
And like incredible people, wonderful. How do you make a dollar out of it? My son Stuart and I, we would have people come into us we started digital business when Google was a year old. We thought this is a good thing. People come with an idea and say, how are we going to make money? Because that's really what drives it. And those TV stations are making all the difference. And so it is with the newspapers. They've got to work out, how does it now work? You know, the figures that I said, halving the amount of advertising revenue that they're getting in. You pick up a newspaper now, it's thin. It's like that.
So the fact that you went for Google tonight and you represent free-to-air TV,
yes,
that is a major issue for you guys, isn't it? To see them,
but it is for
have a fairer environment for competition.
It's an issue for all the media, free TV, yes, even here in the organisation that you've got here. But mostly it's an issue for all of Australia. What is fair? Because this world that has suddenly got smaller like that, and it's what the Prime Minister's been saying, it's got to be fair. And we're a great place. But by the way, the other thing is that advertising has always been able to tell us is when things are getting a bit better, and it started to pick up.
I'm seeing that too with our little Rush publication.
No.
Yeah, I am.
And I
was waiting for you to come on to verify, because it's happening for us.
And can I tell you, for the people that look out there, retail up until Christmas is going to be fine.
Yeah. So
Australia's in a good place.
It'll set us up for 2015, Harold, a better year than 14.
Have a good Christmas.
You're a good man, Harold. Good to see you, buddy. Coming up, real estate agents in Victoria have a gripe with the current government. We'll see what it is after the break.